Women don't really want love. That's one of the biggest lies in history, that they want love. They might think that they want love. What they really want is a good life. Women want a good life more than men want a good life. Men want a good life in the sense that men want to be secure so that they can be comfortable in a scenario. Women want a good life so that they can have adventure and excitement. Men are more domesticated than women. This might be a mind fuck to a lot of people, and it might sound like the exact opposite of what a lot of people think. A lot of people might think that women are more domesticated because they like to have kids. That's false. When it comes to kids, women are possessive, but they're not domesticated. The proof is in the pudding. Women will gladly take a man to court so that he won't have to see his kid. They'll gladly use the kid as collateral to get money from the man. They'll gladly use the kid to get revenge on the man. Happens over and over and over again. You almost never see it happen with a man. A man almost never uses a kid to get back at the woman. 8 times out of 10, it's a female who wants to get pregnant, not the man. Only in rare cases, when there's beta men, do they want to get the woman pregnant so they can keep her around. In almost every case, it's the flip side of that. The woman is trying to get pregnant to keep the man around. She's trying to get pregnant so she can leech off the state. She's trying to get pregnant because in her mind, she's always wanted a kid. Women are naturally maternal. They want kids, but they're not naturally romantic. They don't naturally want a man. They might be romantic in a selfish sense. Consider how they want romance. The man has to wine and dine me. He has to take me out. He has to show me a good time. This is what it is. Rarely is it, I'm going to share an experience with a wonderful man whom I love. That's what real romance is. I love a man. I'm going to share a night out with him, a dinner, maybe go for a boat ride because I love him and I want to spend time with him. No, 9 times out of 10, it's he needs to do something for me so I feel special, so my pride and my ego can be built up. That's their idea of romance. Women don't want love. They want that. The love is centered around them, their happiness, their approval, their validation, not the man's. He's the means to an end. Men are interchangeable to women. Sure, a woman might say, I want that special guy. But if you unravel that word special, it invariably goes back to her, what she wants. He needs to be special for me so that I can have my happiness, which essentially basically means she doesn't care about his happiness. Essentially, it means that she doesn't care about men in general. Men are interchangeable. Oh, if this guy isn't special, she trades him in and looks for a new one. If this guy isn't a prince, I'm going to keep sucking and fucking until I find my prince. Because they use sex to get what they want. Because they know that men want sex. So sex is a leverage tool. It's a bartering tool. I would say sex is more of a bartering and leverage tool than sex is stigmatized in 2018, 2019. It's more of a bartering tool. It's more of a leverage tool. It's more of a power play. It's more of a power dynamic for women than it is something that is historically stigmatized because of religion, which is what a lot of people like to say. Oh, because we're founded on Puritan principles from the pilgrims who came over from Europe. We're a very religious people, Americans, and this is why, we're so, sex is so stigmatized. I call bullshit on that. I don't think so. What it more so is yes, she doesn't want to be judged, so there's stigma there. But it's not that she doesn't want to be judged because she has religious values. It's not that she doesn't want to be judged because her conscience is bothering her because what she's doing is wrong. No, it's she doesn't want to be judged because it will lower her sexual market value. That's the real truth. The real truth is it will lower her leveraging ability in society to get what she wants, because women use sex as a bartering tool, as a leverage mechanism. Why does she suck and fuck? So that she can get a guy. Because they all think that this is what men want. Men want sex. Do men want sex? Yes, men want sex. So do women. What's the difference? The difference is that men traditionally have to work for it. Men, even I'd say biologically, have to work for it. We're the ones who are the hunter-gatherers. We're the ones who are supposed to go out and create a good nest for her. This has caused a lot of problems, because now she can choose whichever best nest she wants, which takes love out of the equation. Love is, I love this person despite how good his nest is or how bad his nest is. I love this person despite his faults. That's what love, bottom line, boil it down, love is. I love you despite your faults. I don't love you because I have to love you. I don't love you because I'm obliged financially to love you. I'm obliged socially to love you. I love you because I frickin' just love you. That's what love is. Boil it down, bottom line, real, raw, gritty love. I frickin' love you. That's what love is. But in 2019, 2018, what is it? It's, I love you because you got a Ferrari. I love you because you take me on trips to Cancun. What does that really say? I love what you do for me. I love how much of a tool you are, how much I can use you. I love what you buy me. I love how you make me feel even. Feeling is not necessarily love. Love is definitely a feeling, but it's deeper than just a mood, because your moods come and go. You can be infatuated with someone and not really love them. Love is, you're a shitty person, you got a lot of bad habits, and you got a lot of bad traits, but I still freaking love you. That's what love is. Love is, I know all your faults, I know all your shortcomings, I know all your dirty secrets, and I am still here. I still love you. That's what love is. How many women really love men that way? No, it's, oh, well, he does. He better go to work and get a check from me. He better do this. He better do that. That's what their version of love is. You see? So, at the end of the day, that's a sickness. At the end of the day, that needs to get worked on. At the end of the day, men need to learn. We need to choose better women, if there is such a thing. I would argue that biology has messed it up almost completely. Sex is a bartering tool. Women view men as a means to an end. Their idea of romance is finding the best suitable mate for their purposes who fulfills the roles. This is why men dress a certain way. This is why men try to make a certain amount of money, so they can provide that for the woman, so they can impress the woman. They're basically buying her love. They're bartering for her love. A woman uses sex to barter for love. A man uses resources to barter for love. This is why women say, oh, he took me out on this wonderful date and wine and dined me and made me feel like a princess. There's nothing implying love in that. That's a buying scenario. He is buying you. He's wining and dining you so that he can impress you, so that you will love him. And now, unfortunately, in a lot of these scenarios, they're just boiled down to he's buying sex, essentially. He's taking you on a nice date. He's wining and dining you so that you can have sex with him, maybe, or just say, thank you for the nice date, have a good night. Oh, I'm not that kind of girl, as you run up his bill on food. This is what it's become. This is how far and twisted this scenario has become. Men need to put their foot down. As I say in my video, no dates. Stop taking women on dates. It implies that you are trying to impress them. It gives them automatic validation. Oh, I'm going on a date. I'm so special. And the flip side is women are so screwed up by this. They're so warped in the way that they jump tree branch from one man to another, that when a guy treats them like shit, they're attracted to that guy. He doesn't care about me. All the other guys are swooning over me and offering to take me on dates. This guy doesn't give a crap about me. I'm gonna try to make him love me. I'm gonna try to make him impress me. And then once he impresses her, she's no longer interested because now he's just like all the other guys. Isn't that funny how that always works? It's twisted, it's sick and twisted. What's the solution to that equation? Stop this whole hypergamy bullshit. Stop trying to impress women with your resources. Stop trying to impress women with your money. Take the red pill. Women need to take the red pill. Get out of that whole scenario. Get out of that whole process, that whole system. Oh, I'm going to buy into this system, so there's nothing wrong with wearing nicer clothes. There's nothing wrong with going out and having a good time. There's nothing wrong with being romantic. There's nothing wrong with buying your woman flowers if you love her. There is such a thing as gestures of love. That's fine. But when it becomes commercialized and when it becomes twisted into something as a means to an end, when you're using it to get something out of someone. Oh, he has to impress me. Oh, this guy didn't impress me. This guy took me on a boat ride. This guy took me on a trip to Hawaii. This guy bought a car for me. This guy's paying my rent. At what point are you just a whore that is accepting money in exchange for your affection or your sex or your love? One could make a very good argument that the entirety of marriage is just that. It's the exchange of resources for sex and affection or intimacy, whatever you want to call it. This is why so many marriages have no spark. There's no love in so many marriages because people really buy into this stuff. Men think, oh, I'm the man. I have to be the breadwinner. I have to get my castle, and a woman's going to be my queen. She has to submit to me as long as I'm paying for everything. And it's this weird power dynamic that we have accepted as normal. That's not equality. That's not equal love. That's not, and I don't even like to use the word equality because it's such a damaged word at this point. I much prefer the word mutuality. Mutuality is something shared. I share these emotions for you. I share these deep feelings for you. Yes, you can hurt me and I can hurt you. We can be shitty people. But because we have this underlying shared bond, which is what's called love, we work it out and we get through it. But people are so selfish. Oh, he did this. And well, it's over. I'm going to go find somebody else. He broke my heart. No, you broke the relationship off. You broke your own heart. You broke your own heart. I wanted to love him and he didn't treat me right. Maybe you have a preconceived concept of what right treatment is. Oh, he didn't wine and dine me. He didn't take me out. He didn't show any gestures of love. Well, okay, maybe the guy needs to show some gestures of love. Maybe he needs to tell you he loved you, but maybe he can't. Because he's playing this stoic game. He's playing this I'm the man game, and I need to be a man because if I show affection, all the other girls that I showed affection to, they dump me. I gotta be a bad boy or else she's not gonna stick around. And guess what, ladies? That's the truth. You don't stick around when we're nice. You don't stick around when we treat you with love and mutuality. You consider that weakness. So what are we supposed to do? Be players constantly? That's what we have to do. Be the breadwinner. No, just be this. Just be that. How about you just be something? How about you just be quiet and love your man? How about you just treat your man right instead of being so selfish? Instead of being such a black hole. All about me. And it gets so twisted because you're so used to guys who are coming around the corner and buying everything for you and doing everything for you. And you get brainwashed and you get spoiled. I like that word spoiled. We need to bring that word back. Spoiled. There is such a thing as getting spoiled, meaning you get ruined. You're no longer fit for dating. You're just a slut, or you're just a gold digger. You're just exchanging sex for a good time. I wish a guy would take me on a date. I like to go out on dates. Why? Because every once in a while, when you get done sucking cock from the bad boys. You like a nice guy to make you feel special, and then you're gonna jump right back on the bad boy cock after that gets old. Isn't that funny? And yet men are the problem. You're a victim, right? Men are the problem. Men are the problem here. Not you, not your choosing process, not your twisted and warped sensibility of what love is, twisted and warped concept of what love is, selfish concept that I'm gonna find a prince. Yeah, maybe wait for a decent guy instead of jumping on all the townspeople on your way up to find the prince. Do you think? Or maybe some of those townspeople are good enough, and the real prince is just banging sluts because they like his nice car and they like his money and they like whatever about him. So he's just using that as an advantage to bang women. And then you take his example, even though he's one of a kind and unique and rare, and you blanket all men and say all men are like that, when the reality is that's not true. When you say all men, you're overlooking all the guys who genuinely want to love you. Yeah, there's a lot of simps, a lot of guys who are like, oh gosh, I'm in my emotions and I wish she'd love me. There's a lot of guys who are not under control of their emotions. I'll give you that, ladies. There are a lot of guys who don't know how to be cool and don't know how to, wait for a woman's affection and don't know how to. They have a lot of feminine energy. They have a lot of neediness. I understand that that's not attractive, but I would argue that love somewhat is about needing someone. Somewhat it's about affection. Somewhat it's about emotion. It might not be a clinginess. It might not be a feminine. The male doesn't need to be feminine in his energy, for the love, and needy and the things like that. But love is about needing someone. Love is about being around someone. But then when a guy wants to love you and hug you and then you get all turned off, there's something wrong there. There's something wrong with that, ladies. If you get turned off when a man wants to love and hug you, something is wrong with you. You might be emotionally damaged. You might be so warped and twisted from whatever kind of life you've been living, and you come from divorce or whatever twisted marriage scenario your parents had that caused you to be that way. If a man loves you and shows you affection, that's very positive. That's not feminine. If a man hugs you and tells you he loves you, that's strong. That's love. Or would you rather you just constantly be on your knees? That's what you like? Oh yeah, I need to be subservient to this man and just suck his dick all the time. If he once he starts hugging me and loving me, then it's over. There's something twisted about that, ladies. But this is what I see. This is what I experience. When's it going to change? When are we going to start raising our daughters right? When are we going to start loving better? As opposed to this give and take, this push and pull weirdness. You got to be stoic and aloof to get a girl. You got to act like you don't give a crap about her. Then she wants to chase you. And then once she catches you, then she's mad because you don't show her enough affection. She's mad because you don't have gestures of love. But when you do that, when you do have gestures of love, when you do show affection, she gets bored and she wants to chase another guy. There's something sick about that. That's the equivalent to a guy saying, oh, well, I fucked her a bunch of times. Now I'm bored of fucking her. Let me go find somebody else. There's no love there. There's something sick about that. So we need to change that. We need to work on it. We need to talk about it. And these are things that I see in society that are very damaging, things that I've experienced. You've been listening to Jay Lee with Northwest Podcast. I hope everybody stays safe. Hope everybody has had a good New Year's. And I hope we can have a better year in 2019. Thanks for listening. Jay Lee, Northwest Podcast.